What's going, guys? It's Anime One back here with a new video, and today I'm here with a new part of What If Naruto was abandoned by his parents. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. Where the hell did I get myself into? Naruto was thinking that he was sitting in the living room. In front of him, beside him was his aunt, and in front of him was a strange man that Naruto had met a few times, but not particularly known him too much. And beside that man was, from what Naruto could tell, his daughter. They were pretty much the same age. And what the hell did his aunt tell him? Scared the living shit out of him. It had been at least 2 years since his uncle had pretty much died. He didn't know why his uncle had died in his room, and even after all the investigations that had happened, no one could tell why his uncle was killed. People were blaming him for that reason, but Naruto just simply ignored them, or that is what he thought. Actually, Naruto was scarred. Seeing the dead body of his uncle in his room actually did scar him, but he didn't show it too much. He saw his aunt crying pretty much for 2 months every single day, and then she started getting normal. And now this shit, thought Naruto, as he looked at the man that was in front of him. Your name is what again? Naruto asked, as, Samantha glared at him. Naruto, please be a little polite, she said. Don't sweat it, Samantha. I'm quite used to it. He's always been rude, but I guess it's fine. Well, my name is Ragnarok, Naruto, said the man that was now named Ragnarok. He was also an Uchiha, just like Samantha and Naruto, who was, a half Uchiha. What are your intentions of marrying my aunt, or even, mom, you could say, said Naruto, narrowing his eyes at the man. The man actually flinched a little, seeing Naruto's gaze at him. Nothing, Naruto. Just slower, that's all, said Ragnarok, scratching the back of his head nervously. Naruto again narrowed his eyes. Is that so? Then it's fine, I guess. As long as, aunt is happy. That's all I care about, Naruto said as he got up. Well, since our conversation is done, I'm gonna go to train, said Naruto as he started walking away. Naruto, wait, said Samantha as Naruto stopped. What is it now? He asked, glancing back at her. She sighed. You know, ever since Uncle has died, you always tell me this, that my attitude has gotten, worse, said Naruto, as Samantha sighed. And yet you don't. I don't need to improve my attitude. This is who I am. Well, if you have anything else to say, if not, I'll go, said Naruto as he waved at her and started walking away. Naruto, take her with her as well, said Samantha. Naruto looked back. And what was her name again? Said Naruto as Samantha's sweat dropped. You brat, she said as she got a tick mark on her forehead. She calmed herself down. Her name was Suki Uchiha. She's gonna be sort of like your stepsister. So take care of her, Naruto, she said. Naruto gave her a nod. As you wish, aunt. Hey, Suki, do you want to come and train a bit? Naruto asked. Suki's eyes, she was quite a shy girl, so she gave him a slight nod as they started walking towards the training ground that was outside of the compound. As they were walking, people were glaring at Naruto and whispering about him. Hey, that's the brat who killed Agami, isn't he? Yeah, that brat. He probably manipulated Agami too. That QB is no joke, said the other one. I don't know why Lord Fourth is keeping him alive, just because he's his son, said the other one. There are some of the rumors. Suki was seeing this all around. Hey, why don't you say something back? Naruto just kept on walking away with his eyes closed. It's none of my concern. They're just fools. I think that a 3 to 4 year old boy can kill a fully matured man who's probably the strongest Uchiha right after my father. I don't know what to say to those kind of boys, said Naruto as he started walking. Who are you gonna train with? Said Suki as he caught up with Naruto. Itachi Uchiha and Shisui Uchiha. Suki's eyes widened. What? You mean the two Uchiha clan prodigies? She said as Naruto gave her a nod. Yes, exactly, those two. Well, they say that when I get into the academy, I will actually probably pass the academy in a year or two, so that's that, said Naruto as Suki's eyes widened. When they both say that, that means you really are a prodigy, just like my father said. As Naruto glanced at her. Oh, no, we really did know, did he? Well, whatever, let's go, he said as Naruto vanished. Hey, that's not fair. You can use the Sunshin at this age? You're only 6 years old, for goddamn sake, she shouted, but Naruto was not there, so she had to run through the training ground. Once she arrived, she was panting. That bastard. He's fast, she said, as she was taking breaths as she managed to calm herself down. And there she saw them. Itachi and Naruto standing on the other side as Shisui was in the middle. Okay then, both of you, are you ready? Shisui asked. Both Itachi and Naruto nodded as they both had their hands in a sign to begin the battle. Well, very well then. Now that you're both ready, begin, said Shisui as both Naruto and Itachi run towards each other. They got into a taijutsu battle and Suki was amazed. She knew Itachi was skilled in taijutsu and pretty much in every single shinobi area, but Itachi was, 2 years older than Naruto. So for that reason, it was amazing to see that Naruto could keep up with Itachi. And then not only that, Naruto did manage to land a few blows on Itachi, but at the end, Naruto was blown back and he landed on his butt. Before Naruto could get up, a kunai was placed right in front of his face. I win, Naruto, Itachi said. Naruto sighed. I guess you do. Well then, since the battle is over and Itachi wins, both of you stand up and do the unison sign, said Shisui as both of them nodded. Itachi picks Naruto up and then they both end the battle with the unison sign. Wow, that's amazing, Suki said as he looked at both Itachi, Shisui, and Naruto. Mostly at, Naruto. Amazing. I never thought someone that I'm gonna be living with is gonna be this strong. Naruto, can you train me? She asked, looking at Naruto with sparkly eyes. Naruto flinched. No, said Naruto. Suki pouted. No, why? She asked. Naruto just looked at her. Well, I don't want to, said Naruto. Itachi and Shisui sweat drop. He can be quite ruthless, they both thought at the same time. But why don't you want to? I'm pretty sure I can progress fast, she asked. It's not about, you progress slow or fast. I simply don't want to teach anyone. That's all. You can ask Itachi or Shisui for help. They're way better teachers than I could ever be, especially Shisui, since he was the one who taught Itachi and me most of the things we know, said Naruto as Itachi nodded. That is true, so yeah. Shisui looked at both of them. You guys, you just didn't, he thought in his mind, as both of them smirked at him. That's what you get, bastard, for defeating us in every single spar. They both had the same thought in their mind. As Suki went in front of his Sisui. Hey, big brother Sisui, can you teach me how to fight like an awesome ninja like you taught both of them? So yeah, Sisui looked at her. Uh, I, I. Then Suki gave him a puppy dog eyes look. Sisui was well. Naruto was 6 years old, Itachi was 8, and Sisui was 10. And well, Suki was also 6. And since, Sisui was not immune to the puppy dog's eyes look, he sighed. Fine, I'll train you. Come by to the training ground every single day at 10 o'clock. Got it? He said. Suki gave him a salute. Yes, sir. I'll keep that in mind. She said as he, looked at Itachi and Naruto. Both of you. Itachi, do you have the shotting gun? She asked. She knew for a fact that Sisui already had it. Her father had told her, but Itachi, she was not so sure. Itachi gave her, a nod. Yes, I'm already a Genin and approaching to be a Chunin at some age. I attained the Sharingan because Itachi could not complete the sentence. He had unlocked the Sharingan when both of his teammates died by the hands of a masked man who had long hair and was wearing an orange mask with a flame pattern in them. He cut them all down with the help of his sword. Itachi unlocked the Sharingan in that situation. And then Itachi gave her a nod. I do have the Sharingan, Itachi said. Suki's eyes widened. Hey, can you show me? She asked, coming towards Itachi. Itachi stepped back a little. Okay, I'll show you, he said as he started applying chakra to his eyes, and soon his eyes changed into the crimson red Sharingan with two tomoes in each of them. Suki's eyes widened. So cool, she thought as he looked at Itachi. You do know that Naruto covered Itachi's mouth. There's no need to tell anything. Suki looked at both of them confused. What the hell are you guys talking about? She said. Itachi gave Naruto a confused look, but he understood. Fine, it's nothing, Suki. Well, since this is done and our training sparring session is done, I'm pretty sure that Naruto, tomorrow you have your first day in the academy, don't you? Asked Itachi as Naruto gave him a nod. I'm enrolling early so that I graduate early. I at least want to learn everything, not like you who just graduate from the academy in a year. I think you enrolled into the academy when you were 7 years old, didn't you? Naruto asked. Itachi gave him a nod. Yes, and you're enrolling when you're 6 years old. Well, I guess you'll pass just like me. Naruto shrugged. If I do, then I do. If I don't, then I don't, I guess, said Naruto. Suki looked at him. You're going to the academy starting tomorrow? Naruto gave her a nod. Yes, staying at home is quite boring. At least in the academy, maybe I'll learn some things, said Naruto. Suki's eyes widened. I'll go to the academy too, she said. Naruto straight drop. I'm pretty sure you can't do that, since you have to enroll your name and registration and stuff. My registration was done a month ago, so you really can't do that, said Naruto as Suki pouted. That's not fair. No, I'll be the only one who'll not be a ninja among all of you guys, she said. Naruto gave her a nod. Well, that's what happens when you become too chilled out. I'm serious about my career about being a shinobi, that's all, said Naruto as he started walking away. Itachi and Shisui waved at Naruto, telling him goodbye. Naruto waved back as he and Suki started walking. It was nighttime. As they were walking, some people came in front of Naruto. They were drunk men. Hey, you demon brat, said one of the, drunk men. Naruto looked up at him. What do you want? Said Naruto. The drunk man got a scowl on his face. How dare you talk to me like that, you demon? Well, I guess this is the punishment, he said as he brought his bottle up. Suki widened her eyes. Is he gonna hit a child? With, with, with him being an adult? She thought as he looked at Naruto, who was still calm. As the man brought his bottle down, Naruto vanished and appeared behind the man's head. I wonder, how strong is your forehead? I wonder if you get knocked out by a kick by a 6-year-old brat, said Naruto with a smirk. He applied chocolate to his feet and kicked the man right on the skull as the man's eyes rolled back and he was knocked out. Nothing too extreme. Naruto dropped down as the other men just started walking away. They didn't want to mess with this kid. As they walked away, Suki's eyes were widened. You defeated a grown man so easily, she said. Naruto sighed. He was a civilian. It was obvious that he wouldn't last much long against me. I have been training since I was 5 years old, and it's always been almost 2 years. My birthday is coming soon, so yeah, it's almost been 2 years. Suki's eyes widened. Your birthday? When is that? She asked. Naruto looked at her. You seriously don't know? He asked. She shook her head. October of 10th. When the day that the Nine Tails attacked the village, said Naruto. Suki's eyes widened. What? But you were... Yes, I was not born on that day. But, coincidentally, I was, well, 2 years ago. I was born at that day. October of 10th. It was not when the Nine Tails attacked the village, but it was just a normal birthday. But, well, 2 years ago when the Nine Tails attacked the village, coincidentally, it was right on my birthday. Said Naruto as he touched his stomach. And then this thing, he whispered. Suki was not able to hear that. What did he say? Nothing. Let's go home. Aunt and your dad must be worried. It's already been pretty late, said Naruto as he looked at the clock that was in one of the houses. Shit, Dad is gonna kill me, she said as Naruto actually went towards her. You're gonna take too much time, he said as he picked her bridal style. Hey, what the hell are you doing? She said as she was blushing. I said you'll take too much time to walk. As Naruto said that, he vanished. And within a few seconds, they were right in front of their house. Naruto dropped Suki as her head was spinning. That wasn't so good, she said as Naruto looked at her. Yeah, I felt like that too when Shisui teleported me. But you'll get used to it, said Naruto as they both started walking inside the house. Once they did, they saw both of their parents pretty much having a nice little talk. Well, hey there Naruto, Samantha. Hey there Naruto and Suki, said Samantha as she smiled at both of them. How was your training with Itachi and Shisui? It's fine, said Naruto as he went up to his room. Not friendly at all, huh? He didn't even greet me, said Ragnarok as he sighed. You know how he is, right, don't you, Ragnarok? I just want you to try your best, okay? Naruto, yes, I know his past. And I know what he's doing is understandable. He doesn't trust people. It's, well, understandable. He's just letting me marry you. That's a huge fact. You don't, actually killing me, said Ragnarok as Samantha chuckled. I guess that's true, but I just wish that Naruto would, socialize. She's going to the academy tomorrow, isn't he? Said Ragnarok as Samantha nodded. I'll drop him off, he said as Samantha gave him a weird look. You're trying to get close to him, is that right? She said. Ragnarok gave her a nod. That would be the best. At least I'll get to know what he likes, dislikes. You could just ask me, Samantha said. He shook his head. I want to know him myself. I want to know that I want to treat Naruto like a son. like how Agami did. Said Ragnarok as Samantha looked down. Yeah, they both were really close. It's understandable why Naruto would. Yeah, it's understandable. 1 year spending time with someone that you thought of as your father when your own father doesn't really give you much of attention. It's understandable, said Ragnarok as Samantha nodded. Yes. Meanwhile, Naruto was, well, sitting at the rooftop looking up at the moon. Moon, it's beautiful, he thought to himself. He always thought why the moon looked like that. In the books that he read, it said the moon actually reflected the light of the sun. Then, shouldn't the sun be more beautiful? But the sun wasn't. It was brighter. It would actually hurt your eyes if you looked at it. I guess being too bright is bad, but also being too dark is also bad. Balance was needed. Naruto knew that. And the reason why moon was called beautiful but the sun wasn't. The sun was called hot and somewhat remnants of a devil because the sun was too bright, too hard to look at it straight ahead, but the moon wasn't. The moon was soothing to the eyes somehow, but also provided light to the whole entire world at the nighttime. That was why Naruto loved to see the moon. Of course, today was somehow, coincidentally, a full moon night. Well, that was that, thought Naruto. He just loved it. As he was there, someone appeared beside him. His cloak fluttering in the air, the white Hiyori with the fourth Hokage running at the back. Hello there, Dad, said Naruto without looking up. Minato sat beside his son. How are you doing, Naruto? Minato said. Fine, I guess. You haven't visited me in a week, said Naruto. There wasn't any resentment or jealousy or anything in his voice. It was just normal. Minato, well, just look down. You and I both know, Naruto. That's I even cannot spend much time with Katsumi, and you, too. I am just too busy with all the Nine Tails stuff going on. We're still recovering from that, but sooner or later everything will return back to normal, and then we will have our... Well, I'll spend much more time with you, said Minato. That would be good, said Naruto. Will you be coming to drop me off in the academy tomorrow? Said Naruto as Minato looked at him. He smiled. I don't know. Probably not. But I'll try my best. If I am able to clear my schedule tomorrow, I'll make sure to at least see you off in the academy, said Minato as Naruto looked at his father. Fine, he said. Minato just ruffled Naruto's hair. Naruto, don't be like that. I know you're upset, but I'm the Hokage. Everyone in this village is my family, and I have to take care of them. Your mother, well, not your mother, said Naruto. She is not my mother. You only saw one woman as my mother in this entire life, and that is my aunt Samantha. No one else deserves that title. So Naruto has his hair force shadowed his eyes. Minato to the side. I know, and you're right to think that. She abandoned you, Naruto. I have no right to say that he's forgive her. But I'm just begging you to not hate her. She has realized her mistakes, but again, the things cannot go to the way they were before. That's her mistake, not yours. Remember that, son. Minato said as he got up. Once this is done, I'll train you when you're 8 years old. 2 years should be enough time for the Nine-Tails attack to be completely recovered. And then I'm pretty sure I can train you, said Minato. Naruto gave him a nod. As he smiled. Thanks, Dad, he said as Minato gave him a nod. Don't worry about it, son. Goodbye, he said, and Minato vanished in a black flash, leaving Naruto alone. Naruto looked up at the moon as his eyes started to change, as his eyes turned into the Sharingan, two Tomoe in both of his eyes. Uh, Training with the fourth Hokage. Naruto thought, as he scoffed, I'll never get anything from the adults. I'll just have to depend on C-Suite Itachi and myself. And maybe Aunt, thought Naruto. Next day, it was the day for the academy. Naruto got up a little early and then took a bath. Since mostly he got up at 9, but today, miraculously, even Samantha was surprised. Naruto got up at 8 o'clock. It was, very rare. He only got up at 8 o'clock when it was necessary. But she guessed that, the first day of the academy was necessary as well. Naruto was, at the door where Samantha was standing. I'd be taking her pencil box, the ninja tools, bag, water bottle, tiffin. I'm fine, Aunt. Naruto said with a sweat drop. I'll be fine, you don't have to worry too much, he said as Samantha just looked at him. She put her hands on his shoulder. Look at me, Naruto, she said as Naruto looked at her. Make friends, okay? Do not just let what people say get to you. It's that okay. Just do your best. Alright? She said. Naruto gave her a nod. As Ragnarok was standing outside the door, Naruto sensed him but he didn't say anything. As Naruto walked out of the door, he saw Ragnarok. What are you doing here? He asked. Well, I suppose that I would drop you off to the academy, said Ragnarok. Naruto just looked at him. Do as you wish, he said. As he started walking towards the academy, Ragnarok sighed. As he started walking beside Naruto, people started glaring at Naruto, but Ragnarok had his Sharingan activated, and when that happened, people looked away. They were not trying to mess with the Uchiha. As Naruto smiled a little. It's good to have an adult beside you. Mom also does the same thing, activating her Sharingan when, you walk beside. Do you realize that you called her mom? Said Ragnarok. Naruto just looked down. I see her as one. Why can't I call her one? Said Naruto. Ragnarok just shook his head. I'm not saying you cannot call her mom, Naruto. I think that you should say it permanently. Just not call her aunt. I think that would make her much more happier, said Ragnarok. Naruto looked up. You really think so? Ragnarok smiled at him. I really know that she loves you so much, Naruto. She looks at you as a son, and the unconditional love that a mother can give, Samantha gives you that. Never forget that, said Ragnarok as Naruto nodded. And you? Why in the world? How did your wife died? Said Naruto, if you don't mind me asking. Ragnarok looked up. My wife. She died while giving birth to Suki. See, Suki was already... my wife was already bearing a risk of even having Suki in her stomach. But she decided to go through the birth, even if there was only 50% chance of her surviving the birth. But yet, she did it. And miraculously, she actually survived for a few days, but she couldn't take the stress on her body and her body gave out. She died. Said Ragnarok. As Naruto looked up at him. Does Suki? No. Ragnarok shook his head. No, she doesn't. She'll probably think that her birth is the reason why her mother died and left her. That's why I always told her that her mother was killed in the third grade Shinobi War battle. That's most of the excuse that people give them, said Ragnarok as Naruto gave her a nod. Well, if that's what you want. Before they knew it, they were in front of the academy. As Naruto looked up at Ragnarok, I guess this is it, said Naruto. Ragnarok smiled at him. I'll come by to pick you up. Just be sure to make friends and stuff. Naruto scoffed. I've already got this lecture from my mom. You don't need to tell me, said Naruto as Ragnarok chuckled. Fine, go, Naruto. Today's your first day in the academy. Make sure you enjoy it, said Ragnarok. Naruto gave him a nod as he entered the academy. Naruto saw many classes. As he picked up his paper that was inside his pocket. 2D, thought Naruto as he started looking for the class number. When he did, well, he saw the class. He opened the door when he did. Many people's attention went towards him. Hey, isn't that the boy that my mom told me to stay away from? Yes, that's him. Naruto heard all the rumors as he sighed. Whatever, he thought. As he went towards the back of the class at the corner and took a seat. Once the teachers arrived, the attendance was took. The teacher didn't seem like he hated Naruto or anything. It was just that he didn't pay specific attention to Naruto. The class went on, and one thing was clear to Naruto. He was wrong to assume that the academy would teach him much stuff. It was boring as hell. And from what Naruto could see, it was obvious why he thought he had graduated so early. Why the hell would he need 3 fucking years to do this shit? Thought Naruto. As that was really surprising. Really, why would someone need that many years to actually graduate from an academy? Academy was supposed to be, well, a 4-year course when someone joined at the age of 8 and then graduated at the age of 12. Naruto joined the academy at the age of 6 and supposedly he was supposed to graduate at the age of 10, but that was not gonna happen and Naruto knew that. Because, well, he was just gonna graduate at the age of 6. Once the academy was over, Naruto saw Ragnarok in front of the academy waiting for him. Naruto smiled. Maybe this could work out, he thought. As that happened, the Ragnarok saw Naruto coming towards him. Hey buddy, how did school go today? Naruto's words, only one word came out of his mouth. Boring. I already know most of the stuff they were teaching, said Naruto as Ragnarok chuckled. Figured that would be the case. You were just like Itachi and Shisui, so it was obvious that that would happen. Why don't you work hard and just, graduate? Said Ragnarok. Naruto gave him a nod. That's what I intend to do, said Naruto, as Ragnarok sighed. Well, let's go home. Your mother should be worried, said Ragnarok. Naruto's eyes widened as he smiled. Well, we're up very well then. Let's go, said Naruto as they started walking. While they were walking, someone was watching the entire scene with a smile. That was Minato. Thank God, even if I'm not there for him, at least someone is, thought Minato as he leaned back in his chair. Yet, he couldn't, attend to today's ceremony because he had, first was the council meeting, second was the meeting with a few of the biggest businessmen in the Fire Country nation, so he really didn't have any time. The Ninetales attack, it really got Konoha's economy to, very low status, and because of that he needs to, connect with businessmen and stuff so that the economy will grow. So because of that, Minato would be busy for at least this year. Maybe from the next year he could spend time with his son. And then another thought came to his mind. Katsumi and Kushina. He would spend time with them too, but for right now he was the Hokage. And he would make sure that the village that he swore to protect is safe.